Good morning, everyone. My name is Dave Hall, and I got my great friend Michael Winiger on the phone. Going to go over this webinar with you real quick. This is the most important webinar you're ever going to be on, but I just wanted to talk to you something that's very important to me. You know, a lot of people need services like health, but it's outrageous. I mean, yeah, they're making healthcare affordable now, but can you get in to see your doctor? Can you get into and get medications? And so let's say, okay, so I was diagnosed with neuropathy. So I was diagnosed through one doctor, and but he wouldn't prescribe the medications. He doesn't do that. So I had to follow up with my home doctor, and I couldn't get in for like 3 weeks. So I'm sitting there in agony pain. What do I do? So I had to pay for that doctor. I had to pay for my healthcare doctor to be able to get these meds, and it was 3 weeks agony. Of course, I beat the neuropathy. Not many people can do that, but I did it. So let's just say, okay, you have a toothache. I'm not talking about having a dental plan or anything. Just say you have a toothache, and you need some medication because you can't get in to see your dentist for like a month or whatever. But it's the weekend or it's after hours. What can you do? Can you go to Instacare? If you do, it's $80+. If you go to the ER, it's going to be $1,000 or more. If it's the weekend, the holidays, whatever, you're going to go where other people are sick. You're not sick. You just got to do that. Hey, give me meds. If you go out of town, okay, you can't go see your doctor. You have to go to the ER. And so you can be charged. Okay, so with these insurance plans, you have teledoctor. Okay, you can call in, but you can be charged for calling into these teledoctors through your insurance every time you call. And they're not going to prescribe no medications. So you still have to ultimately go to your doctor or the ER to get your prescription. So he's going to talk to you. So think about that. You know, the time that, oh man, I'm in agony. I'm sitting there waiting to go see my doctor. I have to go spend money to get the meds. So he's going to go over this. I'm going to let Michael explain everything. This is the most important webinar you're ever going to be on. So enjoy this. Take it over, Michael. Thanks.
So tonight, I'm Michael Winiger. I'm the CEO of Unity Telehealth. We're going to talk about today, I think, is really extremely exciting for a lot of reasons, because we're really serving other people, helping them out with something that is really extremely important. You can see how this is going to expand into a huge global wellness network, thus the tagline, Unifying Global Wellness. And to start, we're going to talk about something that actually, was a really fast growing industry, but became extremely fast because of the conditions around the world. And that is the industry of telehealth, right? And why it became so popular. And it was becoming popular only because that's the way the world was leaning in the first place. There's a lot of things that can be, you don't need to be at an office to do a lot of things. Over 90% of all appointments made at a doctor's office can be done through the telephone, through the FaceTime, through the computers. And now with the conditions that we have around the world, people don't even want to go to a doctor. They don't want to drive. They're too busy. Then they get down there. They don't want to wait for an hour to get even in to see one. And then they get into the office room and they're looking for the chair that's way over there and not near anybody, or walk in with a sore throat, and then, the worst case, they leave with COVID, right? And, we're in a world today where even my doctor friends and I got a lot of them, they say, Mike, we don't want to see them either. We can do it just like we're doing this meeting here tonight. One of the top 3 fastest growing industries in the world, okay? In the world. And when you can get in front of a way of life before it becomes a way of life, and this is going to be a way of life, we can't stop it, then a lot of things can happen from a business standpoint, right? So we're going to talk about a company called Unity Telehealth. We entered into this space we have a partnership with the largest global telehealth network in the world, okay? Now, just in the United States alone, we have over 1,200 doctors and 20,000 licenses, right? We're going to get into that. And, understand the importance of it, because I want you to, just see how simple, how clear, and the value this actually has for every single person. Because you could say like, well, who would need this? Guess what? There's 400 million people just in the United States. So who would need this? 400 million people, every single solitary person in the United States. Because there comes a time when, you know what, you want to, have that sense of security and know that you can just make a phone call and, get a hold of a doctor just like that and have a doctor visit, right? You don't got to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, a week, 2 days. Maybe we'll squeeze you in 3 days, something like that. Boom, you make the phone call, it pops up, and you're talking not to a nurse or a nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant. You're talking to an actual doctor, right? And, again, look at the company, the company that we partnered with, number 47 on the Inc. 500 list, just won the J.D. Powers Award this year for best customer service of all companies in the world. So we're talking some big things. Been around for about 20 years. Okay, let's go forward. So we're going to talk a little bit about why this is such a unbelievable source of information for not only members, but for people that want to partner and actually build a business. And a huge one at that. 2 products, very easily understood. $40 a month. That's all it's going to take. $40 a month, you become a part of the telehealth with the teledoctors. Well, if you're just a member, it's $40. If you're going to build a business, you start with $19 and you spend your $40 and now you have a membership. We'll get into the building side. But what basically happens here is that you have access to all these doctors 24/7, 365 days a year. There are people on here. If you want, speak up at the end and say, yeah, I'd like to hear a couple testimonials. There's people I know in this room right now, including myself, made the phone call, got to talk, got a second opinion, or they got the prescription filled, right? So we're talking on demand, 24/7, 365 days a year. And I'm going to tell you what, this comes in real handy when it comes to holiday times, because you know what happens at that time? You can't get a doctor. If it's Christmas or something like that, and your kids or grandkids are going through something, you can't just go make a doctor's appointment. You can't. You know what? You'd be walking into some urgent care with a whole bunch of craziness, right? Here, boom, make a phone call. 15 minutes later, you're doing a video chat with your doctor. All the medical records goes into the portal. It can be forwarded to your primary. And not only that, now think about that. That's for people. Now let's take the other piece of this whole thing. And over here for $40, if you want, you can get televeterinarians. Look, some people spend, they cherish their animals more than some of the family members, for goodness sakes. But people don't want to do that either. They don't want to take their dog or cat or iguana or whatever it might be and get in the car and drive, down to the veterinary clinic and then sit there for 45 minutes and spend $125 to $250 just to go see the guy or the girl or the veterinarian. For goodness sakes, $40 a month. And what does this give you? Unlimited access. If you had to call a doctor 50 times today, you can do it. It doesn't cost you anymore. See, a lot of people will say, well, Mike, I got insurance and that hasn't happened on my insurance. Well, guess what else you got with your insurance? You got co-pays. You know what else you get? Office visits. You're going to be paying for these office visits, paying for the co-pays, and even the services online that exist, every single one of them. Office visit, $40, 40. Every time you want an office visit, $40 to $100, right? Or you get the one that where all of a sudden you're talking to the doctor and then all of a sudden the gray screen comes up and it blackens out. If you would like to continue with your appointment, please spend $50. Well, you do want the answer, so you're going to continue. This is unlimited access. You could call 50 times today and it's still $40 a month. That's with the doctors, same with the veterinarians. And the doctors are $40, the veterinarians are $40. If you want to bundle them as a family, well, then you know what? It's only $70. You save some money. And then if you bundle them, then included in that $70, now you got the mental health aspect of it, and you got the mental health and behavioral health. That is worth unbelievable amounts of money because you get to sit there and talk to those people that, that might have those issues going on. So you've got every single aspect of what is happening, and you basically, boom, you have access to these people 24 hours a day. Real doctors, right? Right. Okay, let's keep going. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the business side, right? And so what basically happens, we went over some of these. So there's a lot of conditions, right? You can go on the website, which will have a frequently asked questions up this week. all the conditions, things like this. If you get involved in this from a business standpoint, and if all you got to do is get out there and enroll three people, whether they're members, whether they're people that want to build a business, three people, and you get your service every month absolutely free. You're actually in profit after just getting three people involved. Who don't you think this would see the value in this? I can tell you something. I got people that have never been doing business before in the direct marketing industry that saw the value like that. And one girl made over $1,000 in her first 4 days in the business, all the way up to a couple that own a $60 million company, for goodness sakes, and everything in between. Everybody sees the value in this because that's the way the world's going. So why not grab a piece of it, right? Right. And if you want to work and build the business, then the next slide will show you how it basically works. You can get involved, go back with one of three packages. You can get the tele-doctors for $40. That's for the people and the people in your household. You can get the veterinarians for the pets, or you can bundle them both and get the veterinarians, the doctors, and all the mental and behavioral health doctors as well. Now, when we want to go out and build a business, it's $19, and you get your website and your medical portals and all the things that you need. Now, watch how this works, because this is absolutely huge. For the first time, I think, in the history of this industry, you got a compensation plan. Most people look at these compensation plans in business and go, wow, I can see where the company's going to make a lot of money, but the part-timer doesn't. Or those guys that go full-time and go crazy, they're going to make a lot of money, and the part-timer doesn't. Well, we just switched that all around, and now we're going to show you how everybody makes a ton of money, right? So how does it work? You're going to, the minute you come in and want to start your business, you will make immediately off of 3 levels of people that bring people in. On your first level, you're going to make 50%. Your second level, you're going to make 10%. Your third level, you're going to make 7%, but it doesn't stop there. So then, as you're building, you get $3,000 in volume in your business. Now you are a 3K partner, which basically means you picked up another level at 5%. That is absolutely huge. And it doesn't stop there. Now, if you look at the entire compensation plan, you can see that as you get larger groups of volume collecting deeper into the compensation plan, it's a unilevel compensation plan. You can go as wide as you want, and you make it truly on 10 levels deep. 50%, 10, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Dynamic compression with people and with percentages. So if you have somebody who's a 40K partner in your group, they didn't have 3 qualifying legs, that percentage moves up the leg, finds the person that does qualify, and pays them the percentage instead of it going to the company. It's absolutely brilliant. And you can get out there and build a literal dynasty with a compensation plan like this, and being only a company that's 2 weeks old, 2.5 weeks old, right? That's it. We're in pre-launch. We launched January 3rd. We're still doing everything the way we are right now during pre-launch. It's just that you don't launch during the holiday season. So we got this to build the foundation. And then it goes absolutely ballistic when January 3rd comes along. So you guys got to decide, what piece of this do I want? What piece? I mean, you know what? It's kind of like this. I tell people this. What are you purchasing when you get involved with Unity Telehealth? 1, accessibility. You have access to all these doctors with one phone call. Boom, and you're done. And within 15, 20 minutes, you have the phone call, right? Then, accessibility, convenience. Do it anytime. Can do it in the car. Do it at the beach. Do it wherever you're at. If you need it, you got it, you use it. And one thing that is absolutely priceless in this situation, peace of mind. Peace of mind. That's absolutely huge. It's no different than if you own a house for 30 years and you got homeowners insurance. Have you ever used it? No, you haven't. I didn't hear, but I'll tell you what I got. Peace of mind, knowing if something happened, boom, I make a phone call and that's covered. Same thing with this. No difference. You think that's worth it? I think it's way worth it. And Everybody thinks it's worth it. I've not known anybody that hasn't seen and understood the value of this program. See, here's the way it works. When you're talking about this company, you aren't waiting for products and drop shipping and this and telling them how to do that and work it like this and everything else like that. No, this is really simple. The minute you get involved and get your website set up, you got your portals. You can use it immediately. Now, with that being said, you don't have to have long conversations anymore. It's extremely, extremely short conversations, because when it's that cut and dry, that's simple and clear, and people understand that value, guess what? Decisions are easy. Decisions are absolutely easy when that happens. So very simple. We're going to open this up for questions. I think we got one more slide, maybe two. And we fall under the HIPAA laws. That's all it basically says there. And you know what? Now you get this. I'm going to tell you something, okay? I'm going to leave you with this. I got a buddy here that lives in Scottsdale, Arizona. He owns 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. He owns 12 medical clinics in Arizona. 12 urgent cares. That's what he owns. He buys them. He employs the doctors. He buys he puts about $1 million or maybe even more than $1 million in these, gets the property, builds the center, puts in the equipment, gets all the doctors, pays them, and he doesn't know one thing about medicine. But I'll tell you what, he's got one of the biggest houses here in Arizona. He's extremely, extremely wealthy because everybody needs it. Well, let me tell you something. Now you ain't got to spend that kind of money and do all that kind of work. For $40, you get to own your own medical clinic. Boom, got all these doctors working for you. That's absolutely huge if you understand it. And where you can build an income with this thing, because where do you think it's going to be in a year from now? Where do you think your income would be in a year from now if you went and built this thing? Insane. That's all I got to say. So with that being said, thank you guys for joining us.